In 2003, Dave Brailsford was hired as new performance director for the British cycling team. At that time, the professional cyclist had endured nearly 100 years of mediocrity. Since 1908, British riders had won a single gold medal at the Olympic Games. And no British riders had ever won the cycling's biggest race, the Tour de France, in 110 years. In fact, the performance of British riders had been so underwhelming that one of the top bike manufacturers in Europe refused to sell bikes to the team. Then Brailsford and his coaches began by making small adjustments in all areas. Like they redesigned the bike seat to make that more comfortable, rubbed alcohol on tires for better grip. They tested different type of massage gel to see which one lead to the fastest massage recovery, and they determined a type of pillow and mattress that lead to the best night sleep for each riders. As these and hundreds of others improvement accumulated, and just 5 years after, Brailsford took over the British cycling team, dominated the road and track in cycling events. From 2007 to 2017, British riders won 178 World Championships, 66 Olympics, and captured 5 Tour de France victories just by implementing a simple philosophy, that is 1% improvement in all areas. I took this inspirational real story from the book Atomic Habit, Tiny Changes, Remarkable Results, written by James Clear. Hello readers, I am Strashi welcoming you all in Learnings from Booklet. In today's video, I am going to share with you few learnings from the book Atomic Habit, written by James Clear. I have read the summary of this book on app Booklet, Mission Make India Read, where within 20 minutes you can listen to a complete book summary. And app is totally free. App link is given in the description box. So start reading and keep learning. It says, changing your life is not about making big breakthroughs or revolutionizing your entire life. And also, a small changes in your behavior will not transform your life overnight. But if you turn that behavior into habit and perform it every day, it can lead to a great changes in results. So how tiny changes make big difference? The math behind is, if you can get better 1% each day for 1 year, then you will end up 37 times better by the time you are done. Conversely, if you get 1% worse each day for 1 year, you will reach nearly down to zero. If you are out of shape today and go for a 20 minutes jog, you will still be out of shape tomorrow. Conversely, if you eat a family-sized pizza for dinner, it will not make you overweight overnight. But if we repeat these small behaviors day after day, our choices compound into major results. Like eat pizza every week, it is likely you will have gained considerable weight after a year. Conversely, go jogging for 20 minutes every day, you will eventually be leaner and fitter, even though you won't have noticed that the change is happening. And while performing our any habit, we must concern about one thing, that is our current trajectory rather than our current results. For example, suppose you have little money in your bank account, but you are saving something each month. Then you can be confident that your trajectory is right. By contrast, a millionaire who outspends his earnings each month may not be worried about his bank statement from 1 month to the next. But in the end, his trajectory will soon show him a downfall. The key message here is, your current result might not be great, but make sure that you are in a right trajectory where your habits are leading you towards continuous improvement. And if you really want positive changes in your life, then you should recognize that changes requires patience as well as confidence that your habits are keeping you on the right trajectory. How are habits formed? Well, our brain figures out how to respond to a new situation through a process of trial and error. 19th century psychologist Edward Thorndike famously demonstrated it with an experiment where the cats were placed in the black box. Unsurprisingly, they tried to escape from the box by sniffing at its corner and clawing at its wall. Eventually, the cats would find a lever. When that pressed, a gate would open, enabling escape. Then Thorndike took the cats. They had successfully escaped and repeated the experiment. The findings from the experiment was, after being put in the box a few times, each cat learned a trick. They went straight for the lever without scrambling around for a minute or more. And after 20 or 30 attempts, average cat could escape in just 6 seconds. The process of getting out of the box had become habitual. Then Thorndike had discovered the behavior that gives satisfying consequence tend to be repeated until become automatic. There is a 4-step model for behavioral change: cue, craving, response, and reward. All habits begins with a cue or trigger. Like walking into the dark room cues you to perform an action that will enable sight. Then comes craving for a change in a state, in this case to be able to see. Then comes our response or action, flicking the light switch. And the end goal of every habit is reward. In this case, this is the feeling of mild relief and comfort that comes from being able to see your surroundings. And all habits are subject to same process. Let's see how we can build our good habits and break bad ones. Rule number 1. Change your surroundings and your general environment and make your cues as obvious as possible to encourage your good habits. Want to practice guitar? Keep the instruments out in the center of the room. Trying to eat healthier snacks? Keep them out on the kitchen platform. For example, just take the work of Boston-based Dr. Anne Thorndike. She wanted to change her patients' dietary habit without requiring them to make a conscious decision. How did she do that? To do so, she rearranged the hospital cafeteria. Originally, the refrigerators next to the cash counters contained only soda. Then Thorndike introduced water, not only there but at every other drink station. Over 3 months, the soda sales dropped by 11%, while the water sales shot up by 25%. People were making healthier choices because the cue to drink water was more prominent rather than soda. Great way to strengthen your cue is to use implementation intention. When you use this implementation intention process, that will give you a proper plan of action. When you start out and where you will carry out the habit that you would like to cultivate. Because most of us tend to be too vague about our intention. We say that I am going to eat better and we simply hope that we will follow through. But that doesn't happen. So don't just say I will run more often. Instead say on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, when the alarms ring, first thing I will do is wear my tracksuit. Then run for 2 kilometers. Then leave your running shoes out where you will see them. That's how you will be giving yourself both a proper plan and a obvious cue. Rule number 2. Anticipation of reward. The human brain releases a chemical called dopamine that makes us feel good when we do pleasurable activities such as eating or playing video games. But we also get a hit of feel good dopamine when we just simply anticipate those pleasurable activities. That's why kids enjoy anticipation of their summer vacation so much. In brain's reward system, anticipating something is on par with getting something. We can use this knowledge as an advantage while forming a good habit. So when you take a behavior that you think of as important but unappealing, then link it to a behavior that you are drawn to. That will generate the motivation. For example, if you need to work out but want to catch up on breaking news, then commit to only reading newspaper while at the gym. If you want to watch World Cup but you need to make sales calls, then promise to yourself that at first you will talk to your 10 clients, then rewarded yourself with half hour of sports entertainment. Rule number 3. Increase friction and break your bad habits. We often spend a lot of time on behaviors that are easy. Example, scrolling through social media. By contrast, doing 100 push-ups or learning a new software or a language requires a lot of efforts. So how to increase friction to break our bad habits? Want to waste less time in front of the TV? Unplug it and take the batteries out of the remote. And want to avoid social media? Ask your partner to set a new password on every Friday and enjoy your weekend with your family. These will introduce enough friction to ensure you that you will watch TV and use social media when you really want to. Rule number 4. Immediate return environment. The final and the most important rule for behavioral change to make habit satisfying. Our brain evolved to cope with immediate return environment of earlier humans who were focused on immediate return concern like finding their next meal, seeking shelter, and staying alert enough to escape from any nearby lion. Seeking immediate return tendency can encourage bad habit too. Smoking may give you lung cancer in 20 years, but at that moment it relieves your stress and your craving for nicotine, which means you may ignore the long-term effect and indulge in smoking. So when you are pursuing a good habit with long-term reward, try to attach some immediate gratification. For example, author knows a couple who wanted to eat out less, cook more, get healthier, and save money. To do so, they opened a savings bank account called Trip to Europe. Each time they avoided a meal out, transferred 500 rupees to that account. The short-term satisfaction of seeing rupees 500 land in that savings account provided them the immediate gratification they needed to keep on track for the ultimate longer-term reward. 2 magical rules for making a good habit easier. Number 1, the 2-minute rule. Want to read more? Make a habit of reading 2 pages per night. Want to practice meditation? Start doing 2 minutes every day. That's how you will feel that these new activities are manageable. Number 2, identity-based habit. When you are getting tempted to eat junk food or smoking, believe and change your identity to that behavior. Don't say that I'm trying to give up on smoking or I'm trying to eat healthy food. Instead say, I am a healthy eater and I am not smoker. Remember, when you change your identity, it will change your habit. And it may surprise you how easier it will be when you will implement these easy and proven method to build your good habit and break your bad ones. My favorite quote from this book is, every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. To get best out of this book, you must read it. And the summary of this book is available on a booklet. And if you can manage 20 minutes, you can read and listen a complete book summary whenever and wherever you want to. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Start reading, keep learning, boost your confidence every day, and thanks for watching.